Ashay, back in the only place where you get mental elevation and spiritual education. Welcome back to another sermon session with the one and only RP. And today we're going to talk about making your enemies your footstool. Enemies, ops, opponents, competitors, and most of all, monitoring spirits. Those who watch you, who watch what you do, who pay very, very close attention. I'm talking about take all the time out their day necessary to keep up with what you got going on, but swear they don't like you. I'm talking about the ones who don't care nothing about what you post on social media until it's something they don't like. I'm talking about the ones who talk about you in the streets but still go keep up with you on social media even if they gotta look at you through somebody else's page. I'm talking about those who send you a friend request just to watch your page, but they don't really care about requesting anything about you to be their friend because they ain't really friendly when it comes to you. In most situations, enemies are haters that are driven and motivated by demons, which are very low vibrational emotions that take over the mind, body, and soul, depending on the level of hate. Most of the time, these haters and these enemies either want to be you or they just hate themselves. A lot of times outside of that, your enemies be people that's close to you, people that you know, people you done dealt with, done business with, done had relationships with, done had so-called healthy friendships with, until you experience betrayal and disloyalty. And you've seen these people actually try to bring you harm, people that you done gave your last, people that you would have died for, people that you always prayed for. And these be the ones that'll do you in, do you dirty. I know y'all done felt like that before. You? Why not you? Pure talk. They smile in your face, stab you in the back. But that's been going on for a long time. But God said that he will prepare a table for you before your enemies. You know, when God talk like that, it's to let them know you ain't stopping nothing. You don't run nothing. When you covered and you are delivered and God really got his hands on you, can't nothing interfere with that right there. You gonna pop out like, look at me now. Pure talk. Let's take a look at Isaiah 54:17. It says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I want y'all to take a look at something here. When it says no weapon formed against me shall prosper, you know, sometimes people will try to play on that and be like, oh, you got a flesh, you got a body, any weapon, whether it's a sword, gun, you can die. You're missing the point. It's talking about in two different ways, but they both align. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. In the spirit means you can't kill me because energy can't be destroyed. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Referring to the flesh means you can't move me. I'm standing on business. That's why Malcolm X said the true price of freedom is death, because you got to be willing to not be moved nor fearful. Pure talk. See, once you realize that everything that happens to you is because of you, you will begin to understand how the game of life works. Your light attracts light and darkness. So the higher that you are vibrating, the more enlightened you are, and the more you shine, it's gonna attract love and hate from both sides of the spectrums. So if you look good, what do you expect? If you got a nice body, what do you expect? If you do music and it sounds good, what do you expect? If you're a painter and all your portraits come out beautiful and magnificent, you don't think people gonna hate on that? If you overcame a drug addiction and now you looking better, feeling better, doing better for yourself and others, you don't think people gonna have a problem with that? They're still stuck where you used to be at? This is a real thing. Like, even your success alone, you'll be like, dang, why people ain't happy for me? Because it happened to you, not them. I mean, they have it in their heart to be proud of you, to be happy for you. But most of the time, people choose the other frequency because of the vibration that they are on and the things that they are dealing with, because that's what they pay attention to, until they forced to look at something else, even if it's your success. And it reminds them of what they not doing. And they have to get mad at themselves for where they are, instead of using that as motivation and inspiration and saying, you know what, I'm finna get my together and step my game up. You feel me? That's why I realized at some point, because I was the type that always pop out, did what I did. I mean, I still am, but when I was younger, I used to really didn't care what people thought. If I had an idea and I was like, I'm finna get it out here, I'm finna sell it, I'm finna introduce it to people, I'm finna present it to people. A lot of people thought I was seeking attention, but I wasn't doing that. I was breathing expression. And I wasn't looking for no permission, no validation, no explanation, none of that. I was just being me. That's why I always encourage my clients to have true knowledge of self, and if they know what they really want to do that. Don't wait on nobody. You feel me? So that's how I realized that my first enemy was me. And you can look in the word, inner me. Your inner me is the inner you. So you got to have court with yourself and ask yourself, why am I this way? Why do people look at me this way or view me this way? Why am I so misunderstood? Why do I like being certain ways? Why do I respond and react and feel certain ways about certain things? When you can be honest with yourself and make peace with that, work on it and find balance, you'll become a dangerous light being, having a spiritual experience in a human body. Pure talk. So you have to be responsible for what you attract, for what you allow, for what you tolerate, where you go, who you choose, what you choose to do, what you choose to believe in, and how you feel. These are all things that you are responsible for, which will bring you experiences that are good and bad, but necessary for trials and tribulations and growth. So I had to check me first. So I tell people, check you first before you check other people. Even if other people are in the wrong and they played in your face or played with you, still check yourself first, because some things you can ignore. Some things you can let go. Some things you can just be like, you know what, I'm gonna just cut them off. And sometimes you do have to go see about that. You know what I'm talking about? But even then, there's levels. You ain't always got to go to the extreme. So be honest with yourself, change the substance, change the reasoning, and change the perspective. Now let's take a look at Deuteronomy 28:7. The Lord will cause your enemies who rise against you to be defeated before you. Oh yeah, karma is a real thing, and what goes around comes around. So those who doubted you, those who mocked you, those who copied you, those who stole your personality or at least tried to, those who used you to get to where you are by learning what you know, they will see you when you rise, you grow, and you receive your blessings and your next level of success. It has to be that way. Those who manipulated you to serve them and their agenda with no regards to your feelings, they will pay. That don't necessarily mean their life gonna be in shambles or they gonna start losing hair or something. But they might have to experience a high level of guilt, shame, pity, or they might end up getting in a situation where they need your help one day. The Most High have a mysterious and unorthodox way of making your enemies pay for what they've done to you. And the only people that have to pay is those who do things to you intentionally, not those who do things from a pure heart pure heart that you take as a wrong thing because you can't control them. Those are two different things. That's why you don't supposed to wish things on nobody. Those who poke at you, hoping to knock you off your square, they will pay. Those who bring up your past when you were down, bad, and broke, and can only provide the bare minimum on whatever level, they will pay. Those who played with you, switched on you and left you for dead, only for God to make you rise again, they shall see you win again. With glory, with pain, and victory. And you gotta wear it good, because it was a tough ride, but you survived. And they seen it. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. A sword is a word, and that word is of truth. That's what Jesus said. Because everything ain't got to be so peaceful. Some things gotta cut deep. And you got to feel it in your soul, especially when you in the wrong. And you don't want to own up to what you said, what you did, what you assumed, what you accused, what you caused, and what you could have prevented. Pure talk. God has had enough of a lot of these things that cause violence, beef, smoke, crime, and excessive murders. Like these children, man, you know. If you from Greenville, you know, in our city, we've been having a whole lot of killings take place. And I pray for all the families involved. I ain't got nothing negative to say about nobody, but it just helped me realize as I've gotten older how history repeats itself, and we really need to break certain patterns and cycles. We can't just always sit back all the time and be like, hey, we used to do it too. Hey, that's just the way life is. Hey, they gonna learn. True. But it's people out here that can help these kids because they need it. And a lot of these things come from broken homes. And I know people gonna act like that's just normal too. Oh, hey, that's just life. Hey, people free to move on and do what they want. Like, no, man, stop having kids, man, if y'all ain't gonna figure out a way to raise them, whether y'all together or not. Stop putting that before true commitment and y'all submitting if that's not what y'all gonna really do. And, you know, my generation, we can't change what we've already done. We can only do better moving forward. But to the young kids out there, like, think about that. Like, get your life together. You know what I'm saying? Like, before you start creating families and committing crimes and losing yourself. And parents, we got to be better examples. You know what I mean? It ain't always about moving on and picking new lovers and going through disappointments and creating more babies and still failing. Now you're on your second, third, fourth, fifth baby daddy, and he on his next level of child support and creating another family because the family he really wanted to be with, it ain't working out. Like, it's bad out here. And now you got your kids losing their mind because they miss their daddy, they miss their mama, they out here in drama, they gossiping, they taking guns to school. It's wicked. The child neglect based on ignorance because y'all think that y'all can just keep being your kids' friends, man. Y'all ain't teaching them about nothing in scripture. You ain't got to tell them the lies that we was told traditionally growing up, but y'all can at least show them the right from the wrongs, the balance, you know, the things that you can carry every day in life to survive, do better as a person, and treat others with respect and so forth. And these devices, these damn devices. We got to slow down with giving our kids so many devices and just leaving them off to be zoned out on the devices. You know, the mark of the beast ain't what people think it is. You know what I'm saying? The mark of the beast, talking about the forehead and the hand, deals with your third eye being shut off, closed. You straight seeing from these two eyes. You ain't seeing nothing with single vision. And then your hands so occupied with so many devices. All the time. All the time. That's all you see. Rick, huh? Yeah. Distractions. But if you look at the word devices, it show you that that's the devil right there. D-E-V-I. Now we're going to put the C-E-S on there. Because these are vices. You feel me? But it's the devil in motion, occupying everyone through the hand. Pure talk. And the music. If you are consciously aware, you already know that they done switched up the frequency of the music. And you know that music means make you sick, because it's very low vibrational. That's why all you really hear about is sex, drugs, fighting, competing, money, outshining somebody, things of that nature. Ain't nobody really giving you that natural substance that's needed. You got a few out there, but they ain't as popular as everybody, and they not as in rotation as much. That's why it's a time for the chosen, the pure-hearted, and the infinite warriors. And that's why a lot of chosen folks are starting to rise up and speak, because fear don't live here. You feel me? Most of the time, your enemies really love you. Most of the time, they really want to learn from you and become your friend. They just don't know how to tell you that. They don't know how to face that side of that demon inside of them, because they still dealing with how to overcome the ego. But once you realize that we are all one, if I hate you, I hate me. If you hate me, you hate yourself. Because how are we going to be all one and connected to the Most High God and all that, but have a problem with each other? It's like your brother hating your sister and y'all got the same mom and daddy. Like, make it make sense. Yeah, you got the free will to do so. But when you have higher understanding and understanding and overstanding, then you know that's not a pleasant or righteous thing to do. So why you being on that energy just because you're able to be on it? If a person chooses to be your enemy and hate you, always remember that that's their problem. That's not your problem. They got to take that up with themselves. That's why they go out their way to provoke you to get a reaction if you don't pay them no attention, because they know you don't have to. And that fires them up. Because, like, why you so bothered? Why you got people living in your head rent free when you can use their energy to go do something else? You ever heard people say, I don't know, it's just something about them, I just don't like them. And they don't even know them. And they could be reading the energy all wrong. Because I done heard females say, I don't know, girl, it's just something about him. He just giving broke vibes. And then when they get around him and see what he got going on and realize, oh, he got some money, they whole energy changed. He's still looking the same. He's still sounding the same. Everything he doing is still the same. They just done got the information that he got money. So now the whole aura and perspective has changed just because it fits their expectations and their desires. Wicked. That's why when you give it to the source, but you take one step, God can take two. And in that process, you start to renew and you rise again. Like the rappers say, you start to step on you know what I'm saying? Because you step your game up, and that's what allow the Most High to make your enemies your footstool, because you're going to step on everything that they done did or tried to do or tried to throw at you to knock you off your path. Now, before we get up out of here, I want to leave a few things with you all. Always remember that God will break you to awake you, but he'll never forsake you. Sometimes you got to lose it all. Sometimes you got to go to war. Sometimes you got to go through a lot of hurt, pain, and disappointments. Sometimes you got to go through that dark night of the soul moment to where you have to change, to where you have to accept what has happened to you, to where you have to see the world for what it really is and make peace with that. Because all you're going to ever have is yourself and God. Anything else can be attached and connected. But the only person, well, it ain't even a person, the only energy existence that's going to be there is the Most High God. So use your enemies for motivation, for information, and for inspiration.